near you. Go to RamseySolutions.com/show.
Ramsey show ending, after show beginning. Waiting for both streams to kick in. There we go. Put my links in the chat. And we'll get going here. Alrighty. Oh, forgot to pull up my channel. So there it is. Now I can get rid of that one. And show number 336, August 8th, 2022. Alrighty, we're going to be all good, all going. No skip frames, so we should be good. And as we normally do, let me get a little agua. Got some Vegas throat going on here. A little bit of agua. So now what we do is we listen for the drum taps. And missed it. Well, not enough. Try it again. What up, Bobs? There we go. Like all plans, it starts with step 1. $1,000 emergency fund. Step 2, you'll pay off all your debt. Step mortgage, we don't do that yet. So pay off your consumer debt. Every one of those charges, from smallest to largest. Baby step 3 is next. Full emergency fund of expenses. You stay gazelle intensive. His name is Dave Ramsey and this is his plan now. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I go, that's why I go. You know, I host this after show. If you don't like the way it's working out, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have that financial peace, then you should do Dave's baby steps. Now step 4 is when you can take a breath. Go less gazelle and invest. Step 5 is to save for your kids. No student loans at all, we're going. 6 is to pay off your home. Step 7, build your wealth and we'll keep it all yourself. And you've lived like nobody else. And now you get to live large, and now you get to give large. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I go, that's why I go. That's why I host this YouTube show. If you don't like the way it's working out, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have financial peace, you should do Dave's baby steps. Trumpet, take it home. Bum ba bum 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 beep, beep, do. Live from Columbus, OH. It's the Ramsey Show Aftershow show brought to you by D.H. Schumann. Thank you so much, D.H. Here we talk about the Ramsey Show YouTube chat, and the people in it, and all things financial, and whatever else I want to talk about. I'm your host, Coach Steve Money. I'm a certified Ramsey Solutions financial coach, and you can schedule a free consultation assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That's calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. Links at the top of the chat, in the video description below, and right above me here on my YouTube banner. On the right side of my YouTube banner. You can email me about anything, yes, anything, and that would be CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. And donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Thank you for the IO obs. Much appreciate. Much appreciate. Alrighty, brand new show today, but continuing from Thursday and Friday. It looks like we're in the middle of a Dave-cation. But we did have a new show today. And the hosts were, let's see, in the big chair. Friend of the After Show. Author of Redefining Anxiety. Author of Own Your Past, Change Your Future. And host of the John Deloney Show, Dr. D. Ooh, we call him Dr. D, as you can see. But his parents named him John Deloney. Ooh, he's got 2 PhDs, 2 more than me. Plus, he's got some other sets. John Deloney, he's never gonna stop. Gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always sorts it out. Has the club of the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. Ooh, he thinks of calling them, twirls his pen, and he says the day again. John Deloney. Ooh, this dude has got some range. Season of change is what you going there, says John Deloney. Never gonna stop. And he always sorts it out. Has the clout of the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. John Deloney. This one's better. A little water. Whoops. Here we go. Ooh, I said a brilliant mind, anxiety redefined, and put in a quick read by John Deloney. Wealth and downers has the face they didn't place, but they probably still live fun with John Deloney. He's never gonna stop, gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always sorts it out. Has the clout of the feeling kind. John, woo! John Deloney. John Deloney. John Deloney. John Deloney. John Deloney. Alrighty, and in the co-host chair, right next to him there, was, of course, our boy George Camel. His song goes like this. Yeah. He used to host YouTube back in the day. KC calls him George, a camel with a K. Now George chose 3 podcasts that don't cost a cent. A borrowed future, entree, leadership, and the fine print. Opened up YouTube, saw the thumbnail was camel. It's always fun with George on the panel. He wears ASOS and Galoni wears flannel. No one does it better than our guy George Camel. Paid his house off. Baby step 7, y'all. Got a second dog. Got a 2013 Tesla. Sell the horse. Alrighty. Market report. Whoops. Close the tab instead of clicking on it to open it. There we go. As you can see, we got mixed here, but overall it's up. What I do is I take the percent that's down, that's 0.10%, and 0.12% equals 0.22%, and that is of course less than 1.01%, much less 1.09%, which is if you added the Dow, which is barely up, if you added that to that. So that's going to be more. So it's overall, it's more up today. And depending how your allocations of some of your NASDAQ funds are, which we'll see when we get into the most popular Google, the most followed on Google single stocks, we'll see some of those were up, I think. Let's see what it has to say about life and stuff from investors.com. Let's see, let me try to get rid of some of these so that there's definitely no skip frames. Nope, no skip frames so far. Seems to be good today. Let's see, as Dow Jones rises as the Senate passes the climate, healthcare, and tax bill. NVIDIA dives on revenue warning. Let's see. The Senate passed a bill over the weekend to spend billions of dollars on climate and healthcare programs. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see if it says anything else about that. So the Senate passed it. So I can't remember if the House has already passed it. Let's see. Passed the Democrats' climate and healthcare bill in a 51-50 vote. Vice President Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote. The House is expected to take up the bill on Friday. So, don't know if that will get through there or not. Have to see about that. What else we got? This from Market Watch. A surging stock market is on the verge of signaling a huge move. No, that's not Dr. Evil. That's the former POTUS who said that it would say huge instead of huge. But there's a catch. Still strong chance bounce is a tradable bear market rally. Boom, 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 boom. Here's another wrinkle. Pace of the stock market rise as it continues a bounce off the June lows is nearing a magnitude that is preceded huge. Oh, that's preceded huge moves in the past. The dilemma for investors is that those moves can be in either direction. Analysts at Jefferies observed in a weekend note. So they say it can go either way. Another story says why the U.S. stock rally looks more like a new bull market than a bear bounce to these analysts. But the large cap benchmark S&P 500 is more than 7% rise over the past 4 weeks. That is dangerously close to extremely interesting from a signal perspective. Okay, short version is they don't know, but there's a graph for AJ and Troy Story. But they don't know what it's going to do. They're just guessing as well, just like we can do. Let's see. So this is from New York Times. It says electric cars are too costly for money, even with aid in the climate bill. And so don't know what aid is in there. And it's probably not enough to get everybody into electric cars. So find out more about that as it comes up to Friday, probably, when the House of Representatives takes up that bill. Let's see, this from Kotaku.com, Kotaku.com. Netflix has some great games, but nobody's playing them. According to new data, less than 1% of its subscribers are playing Netflix's games. I didn't know they had games on there. Since last year, Netflix offers a subscriber access to free video games. Now data shows that less than 1% of its users are actually playing any of these games. And while the streaming giant has announced more games coming to its service, very few of its over 200 million subscribers will likely care. Let's see. For games as part of its subscription service, launching with 5 initial titles: Stranger Things the game, Stranger Things 3 the game, Card Blast, Teeter Up and Shootin' Oops. It's since added more and now has over 25 mobile games that people can download through the Netflix app in either Android or iOS devices. Some of these games, like Into the Breach, are really good too. And all of these games contain no ads or microtransactions. Let's see. Netflix's games have been downloaded just over 23 million times and have an average daily audience of 1.7 million. That might sound good on paper, but it's basically nothing compared to Netflix's 221 million subscribers. What this data seems to show is about 200 people who have access to Netflix's library games are currently not playing them, or maybe they don't even know they exist, like I didn't as well. So you can check those out. Costco dinner. Speaking of games that should be out, Lego Stranger Things, is that on the way? You would think. Lego Stranger Things. Boom, boom. The upside down. Oh. Okay, so they have some sets, but no video game. Let's see. Oh, that came out in 2018? I didn't even know that. Interesting. Let's take a look at that, shall we? Probably look like all the other Lego video games. Lego video game. Get out the sound. What is that saying? It's not happening. Or this announced trailer.
Also be a billion of playable characters, some even paying homage to the nostalgia.
So that actually come out? Yep, it says 4 years ago. All right, cool. I did not know about that. Costco Dinner Shortcut. That's my new weekly staple by Liana Lozada. And this is on the kitchen without an I in it. The kitchen. No I. And let's see what it is. The grocery staple goes missing. Maybe it's in a new section. You wonder, zipping through the aisles again, your eyes scanning the shelves from top to bottom, but after a second loop yields the same result. You realize your staple is out of stock, or worse, discontinued. During my last 2 Costco runs, I searched the pre-made meals section looking for my favorite Heat and Eat. saucy chicken entree, but it was nowhere to be found. There I was standing in front of the refrigerated cases with an empty space in my cart. So I did what I'm sure many Costco shoppers faced with a loss like this would do. I cycled through the 5 stages of grief and briefly accepted my new chicken-free reality. Then I backtracked through the aisles a third time, hunting for a replacement, and found what? Wolf Family Pulled Chicken. It's seasoned, smoked, and shredded. And I was intrigued. Let's see. Paleo-style diet. So I wanted something low in sugar and has no dairy, soy, gluten, or vegetable oil. This chicken seemed to meet all my requirements, so I grabbed a box and headed for the checkout. And I guess that's what it is. So you do have to cook that bad boy, I'm assuming. Well, since it's pulled, that should already be smoked, so I wonder why they put it. Let's see what it says about that. Yeah, I guess that looks like it might already be done. Cooked, I mean. Boom. The first thing I noticed when I opened the box was the way the chicken was packaged. My beloved saucy chicken was split into separate servings, but this chicken was packaged into one hearty heap. I decided to start with tacos because tacos. You can eat the chicken in the microwave 2 minutes, the oven 20-30 minutes, or boil it in the bag 15 minutes. I chose the microwave because 2 minutes. Okay, so yeah, it already is smoked, already is cooked, and so you just have to do that. And it is, what is it, $11.99 at the Costco. Oh, it's Kirkland Signature, it says. Pulled pork, $11.99. Does not say how much, how many chicken ounces there are. 32 ounces, okay. All right, 32 ounces for $13. All right, this is from businessinsider.com. Why remote work is causing a massive shift in salaries around the country. If you're living somewhere between New York City and San Francisco, both geographically and size-wise, you may see a massive shift in how you get paid, especially if you're a tech worker. Writing to you from New York, I'm Jordan Parker Herb. Let's get into it. Hey, I say let's get into it on my Curse of Oak Island no-cap recap streams. Seismic shift is changing how Americans get paid. Geography has long played a role in how workers are compensated. If you live in Dallas or Minneapolis, you'd never earn the kind of paychecks that are offered in big cities like San Fran and New York. But now that's changing as companies continue to fill remote roles in towns far beyond their headquarters. White-collar salaries nationwide are getting tantalizingly close to those in the major tech hubs. The phenomenon is strongest in tech, which has embraced remote work more than any other industry, and salaries at tech startups in Boston, Denver, and other cities are now within 10% of those in San Francisco. And in Washington, D.C., where salaries used to be 15% lower than those in San Francisco, pay is now virtually on par with the Bay Area. Alrighty, and that may be true for some, but some companies are paying you for where you live, what the cost of living is where you reside. So because some people are trying to move out of the Bay Area, for example, moving out of California or New York and moving to the Midwest or somewhere where the cost of living is much lower, and then some companies lower their pay to match that. So that's the dealio on that. All right, reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. Let's see, we sort by new. All right, now what? Oh, that's because I didn't do the r/Dave Ramsey. There we go. There we go. Now we sort by new. That was giving me a tech support thing. All right, this from Destructively. Should that be Destructively, Grace? Destructively _ Grace. What would Dave do? Cashed out $220,000 from selling my 2-year-old house. Am I making the right moves? Let's see. Cashed out from selling the house I built 2 years ago. All right. Consciously built up in an up-and-coming area using a small builder that needed to use my house for comps in a new area they were just starting to build in, so free upgrades. And then the housing market went up substantially. Good timing on that. Excuse me. I sold and kept $220,000. I still can't believe it happened in 2 years. Got lucky as far as the timing. Before building the house, I'd become debt-free. Excellent. I drive cars that have paid off. Excellent. Now I'm buying a duplex that will allow me to live in one side and have the mortgage paid by the renter. If that's for you, if you want to be a landlord, if you want to live next door to your renter, sure. But a whole bunch of, especially younger people, those darn millennials and younger, they're like, oh, house hack. So you can, they don't think about all the problems. They just think about the money that they could possibly make if there are no excessive problems. After a year of evaluating, I'm purchasing a franchise that produces around $10,000 plus per month average, and someone else will operate it. Again, assuming you're doing that with cash. So if you're doing it with cash, you can do whatever you want to. Add that to my $100,000 income currently, and I'll be sitting with no debt, no mortgage payment, 6 months cash, and $220,000 total income. Anything I'm missing? Yeah, if something goes wrong. If something goes wrong with your duplex, HVAC goes out on it, something like that, your renters destroy it, you can't find renters, the renters don't pay, any number of problems you could have. So that's just with that. As far as the franchise that produces around $10,000 plus per month, what that should be is the franchise that supposedly will bring in $10,000 a month. You don't know. Maybe your location will have a downturn or something. Who knows? Who knows what could happen with that? So again, I assume that's cash. If that's not cash, that's not the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. Cash only for businesses. But other than that, that's about all I can think of. 40 years old. If you want to take those risks, I mean, it's only your money that you're losing if you're paying for everything in cash. If you said be sitting with no debt, so I'm assuming that you're paying for cash for the franchise. Doesn't say how much the franchise is. Doesn't say how much the condo is. Out of that 220, maybe it's about half and half for the condo, and other half for that. Oh, and has another job, a regular job, I guess, where you make $100,000 income. That's pretty cool as well. But that's all you got to look out for, is to just, if you're doing it all in cash, it doesn't matter, because you'll just be out cash. So as long as you don't go into your 6-month emergency fund, as long as you don't take out debt, as long as you're not relying on this $220,000 total income, so $120,000 will just be from this franchise. So I guess they're thinking that have the mortgage paid by the renter, and so not actually no mortgage payment, but the renter, I guess, is going to be paying the amount of the full mortgage payment. And that's your house hacking that the kids love it. Kids love it. But yeah, it's just, there's risk in that. And so it just depends if you want to be a landlord, if you want to take that risk on the business. Whole life policy. What would Dave do? He's dumping it. Let's see. Sacramento Joe, 1985. The only reason you would not dump it is if you are in incredibly bad health now and you are uninsurable and cannot get a term life policy. All right. What would Dave do, Flair? So what would Dave do? He would get rid of it. Let's see. Parents, late 60s, early 70s, recently wanted to give me some money. They were planning on just a direct gift. But my mother brought up that she had a life insurance policy on me and that if she could withdraw the premiums she paid in tax-free, then she'd use that instead. She checked with the insurance company and determined that it wasn't an option and that any money she took from that account would be taxable. Yep. They keep their taxable income below a certain amount, so they qualify for decreased medication costs. Dad has lots of health issues. Sure. What kind of advice should I give her regarding this account? She says the cash value is around $100,000. Take it out there because you can do much better with it than they can. If you die, the health benefits go to whoever the I guess it's your mom that is the beneficiary. It goes to whatever the beneficiary, but this the amount of the cash value isn't going to come out of that. Any growth that it made, having the investment inside that account. And that's the horrible way to do that. Even if you wanted something that is an investment and health insurance, if you get term life instead and then invest the money yourself in the market, you can make way more than the insurance company makes with it. And also, if you die, they pay the death benefit, but then they keep all of your earnings, all of the growth from that policy. And so if you invest separately, if you get term life and then invest separately, your heirs, whoever you want to leave that to, can have that policy. Let's see, the poster is 37, married, heavily, probably even overinsured via term policy and work policy. Okay. Knowing Dave's sentimental whole life, I'd suggest to her that she cancel the policy and take whatever she's entitled out of the cash value. Yep, but then they would have to pay taxes on it, on all of it. Yep. So that's up to her if she wants to do that. My other thought was that she transfer the policy to me, I cancel it, and then gift her what I can from the proceeds. The transfer might also cause a tax act for them, cause a tax event for them. I don't know. You'd have to Google that or consult your tax advisor on that. Let's see. I guess up to $16K this year and $16K next year. In subsequent years, assuming there is more left over. Why is it if you cancel the policy, you don't get yearly payments out of it? I don't believe. I think that's a flat fee you get out of that. I take it that if they pass before me, no reason to think otherwise, right? That money disappears. She has the life policy, insurance policy on you. Yeah, so she's the beneficiary, or your parents both are the beneficiary. And so, yeah, it may become part of their estate, but again, it would still be only worth what it's worth as far as cashing it out. Because there wouldn't be, I don't think you can do that. It may be canceled when the beneficiaries are dead, or it depends on whoever takes it out. It may just cancel. I don't know. Not to say I want that money, but I'd rather the insurance company not get to keep it. Right. Well, they get to keep the growth anyway. Too long didn't read. Mom has a $100K whole life policy on me. Married, 37 male, and cashing it out will put them at an income level they don't want to be in. Should she just keep it active or transfer it to me? I don't know that she can do that. Let's see if it says. Seems like a huge amount of money. I'm going to start at interest rate. Likely there are no taxes because I almost guarantee she's lost her rear end on this policy, unfortunately. Yeah, because if it's invested, it's down the past year. Anyway. And do you have the in-force illustration? If not, ask for one. Or sometimes it's on the statement. You can put the numbers in here. Yeah. Yeah, be shocked if there was a lot to pay in taxes. That's a good point. Having talked to their tax advisor about the tax status of the cash surrender policy, value of this policy. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Sid says keep a P.O. box with a street address in the area with the higher cost of living. Sid is not going to get lowered down to a lower income because of moving to a low cost of living area. She ain't trying to play that. Homie, don't play that. Instruction OK 691 monthly budget help. Let's see, how do I budget monthly when I get paid weekly? I'm at a loss how to pay bills and allocate funds when I'm paid weekly. The monthly budget doesn't seem to work for me, but a weekly one does because I can see the money come in and pay the bills due that week. Any advice? Well, you can certainly do it like that. Any way you keep track of it can keep track of it. The problem with doing it weekly is that weekly one is not like in a vacuum by itself because, like, for example, your rent or some other big payment, or if you have multiple big payments due at the same time, you won't make enough in the week to cover that whole thing. But if you're doing the budget in a way where you're like saving enough money from the previous week and carrying it over to also help make that payment, then you can just do that. Otherwise it would be like what you get paid per month for like 4 weeks, or you can do it by number. You get paid, so you get paid 52 weeks. So you don't have to do like if you were getting paid bi-weekly, you would have to find the monthly average. You would have to multiply that check amount by 26 because you get 26 paychecks if you get paid bi-weekly rather than weekly. So 26 times the amount of your check, then divided by the 12 months, and then that'll give you the average of what you make per month. And I do get paid bi-weekly. I do that just so I know what it is, but basically the way I do my budget is like a forward check register. Like it's the current balance in my bank account, and then it goes like a check register into the future with all of my expenses listed. So all the normal expenses, I can put that in there way in advance, and then when I find out about upcoming expenses, then I add that to it. Ramsey Solutions has the Every Dollar app, and so you can try that. Maybe that would help as well. But any way that you can keep track of it would be fine. And so if you're not running into problems doing it week to week, then that's fine. That may have you running into a problem if you're paying off debt, so that you know it may be more difficult for you to know exactly what you can send to debt that particular week. And of course that you could like wait till the end of the month and then see, you know, what you don't need to hold back for the next week for any bills that are due, and then send everything that's available other than that amount to your debt. Alrighty. From Beatles WMC01, frequent poster on here. Baby step 1. Maybe that's just the thought Beatles WMC01 was in a higher baby step than that, but maybe this is just regarding this. Here's good method. Here's a good method to avoid spending savings. Hey everyone, I thought of how I'm going to keep myself from spending my emergency fund again. Maybe that's why on baby step 1. Oh, I got to 815 last time and spent it on what? And I've done the same thing with almost every paycheck after. So this will work for me, which it will. So if this will work for me, which it will, it'll work for you. All right, let's see. It's dependent on if you have anyone truly trustworthy in your life. I still live at home, so I may give my money to my mother and she'll hold on to it for me. So I don't spend it unless you say, give me my money, Mom, and she just gives it to you. Eventually, it's going to come down on you stopping yourself from spending. Let's see, it says you can also consider putting that cash. $100 bills work better than 20s or 50s. Yeah, and that could be because you'd be less likely to break them. Maybe. Some people would, some people wouldn't. Some people would go spend money anyway. Somewhere like in a drawer under your pillow, mattress. That's the current plan. That's dependent on if anyone might steal it. You could consider keeping it in your sock if you don't want it stolen. Especially if you already have one, you may put it in a safe deposit box since that would cost money. Hopefully a free option works better for you. This is my starter emergency fund I'm referring to. At worst, you may be able to either lock your account or put it in a totally separate bank. That's still not going to stop you from spending it because you can just go in there and unlock the account. You can go to the other bank and get that money out. So eventually, no matter what you do, eventually it's going to come down to you keeping yourself from spending that money and letting it continue to be the starter emergency fund. And the problem with that is if you keep getting hung up on baby step 1, you never get to baby step 2, paying off debt. So here we go. There's another one from Beatles, WMC 01. Another, what would Dave do? Should I switch jobs temporarily for 2 months or so to save before moving? Moving a few months, working on baby step 1, I basically have the whole way to go. I did pay off and close my $250 secured card already. Great. About $8K or so in debt, $550 of that being credit cards, some of it being paying my parents back for some help in the past. Excuse me. They're not very adamant on that and would be more than okay with me paying that at the end if need be, but I think I need to go with the debt snowball though. I also have $700 to pay off an iPad. Currently make $360 a week after taxes. What's the dealio with the job? Is it okay to switch jobs for a few months before moving? I'm concerned about work history, but maybe the warehouses down there, wherever that person is moving to, will still hire me anyways. Some places like that will hire anyone. 11.50. There's not a lot of good opportunity in town. Make significantly more, but if I get my license, parents take me to current job, but new job would have bad hours for them to take me. I can get a job at a local hardwood flooring plant making $14.50 night shift or $13.75 day shift. For just a few months. I mean, it is more money, so I mean that's up to you if you want to do that. Brother worked there. Seems like you get 50 hours oftentimes and not just 40. It could be. Should I switch to that job and work there until I at least have my 1K emergency fund? And you are all over the place, kid. About time to get out of the nest anyways, because I'm 21. And you don't have your license yet, so it could be some kind of arrested development happening there of some type, but 2 months really isn't gonna probably make that much of a deal. What did we say it could be if she worked only night? He or she? I don't know. Worked only night shifts, that would be 40 minutes, that's $3. Times 60, I mean, that's $180 a week. 8 months. It's actually, that would be $10,000. So, wait a minute. Is that right? Only week 2 to 4, 8. No, not 10,000. $1,600. So, just up to you if you want to do that, and if you can handle. It sounds like that might be a lot more hard manual labor work. So that's really going to be up to you. And if you do want to have your work history affected by it. Let's see. Sid reminds that Total Money Makeover, which is Dave Ramsey's book. If you only read one Dave Ramsey book, it's probably the one to read, The Total Money Makeover. And she reminds us that it talked about a woman who framed it in the back of her coat closet. Right. She put it in a frame and kept it in the back of her closet. So that way it was liquid. She could always get to it. And nobody would probably take it. Says should not move states with only $1,000 in her opinion, unless fleeing a toxic, abusive situation. That's true, but would have a little bit more money from working. I guess, but if you got 2 months from now, first you got to get that first $1,000 and then save money to move. So I feel like this 21-year-old is kind of all over the place and just needs to work and try to not try to just change things up Alrighty, let's see. Can't even cover first and last month's rent with that, right? You right there, Sid. Sid's pretty bright. This from Icy Kaleidoscope 2837. I have a bad feeling about this. It's from every Star Wars movie, and I think at least one of the Raiders of the Lost Ark movies. Indiana Jones movies. Indiana Jones 5 coming out in the summer, I think. Next summer. So currently I'm on step 2, trying to pay off my student loans around $40,000. I interned at the place. Now I'm currently hired full time. First couple of months into the internship, someone was fired, with the only hint being complaints toward them in the meeting multiple times. Truthfully, I've received very little formal instruction and made the best of my situation with the help of my coworkers in Google. The bosses have said that they will send me to training, but they keep pushing it off. They're giving me random little training sessions. My field has a lot of ins and outs, and truthfully, these one-off sessions are not cutting it. I'm also about to start my last semester at college and trying to pass the really hard test of my field. More background info. My bosses have critiqued me at the office meeting, kind of like they did my previous coworker. They got fired. They're asking for requirements that my more experienced coworkers says they have never asked for and are hard to complete even with their 20 plus years. I haven't started college yet. My gut is saying they might fire me for some BS reason. Right now it feels scary and I'm unsure what to do. Am I being paranoid? I'm unsure of what to do, not on what to do. No, I mean, maybe not. That could have just been a situation with your ex-coworker. Or it could be a bad business to work for. And should you save? Should you save money instead of paying that off? If you think there's at least and be realistic with yourself, if there's a 51% chance that you might get fired, then Dave says pause the baby steps and pile up cash. So that doesn't mean spend it. But yeah, if they're supposed to send you for training and they keep pushing it off, then maybe they are trying to run out the clock on you and then get rid of you. It's pos. So, but without knowing that, I'm just guessing and you're just guessing. Let's see. Can I afford a golf membership? This is from Kip Jr. 23. Hey, can I afford a golf membership? Hey y'all, struggling to make some financial decisions. I currently have a steady job making $120K a year, no debt, no assets though also. Currently a renter to this crazy housing market. I have approximately $180,000 in liquid cash, but I would like to buy a house at some point. I understand I'm blessed. There is just so much wonkiness in this economy. All right. However, golf is my passion, and it is probably my most expensive and frequent purchase on a recurring basis. With that said, should I join a golf club? Is that responsible? Drive a 22-year-old vehicle and don't have a house and just renting. I'm worried it might delay me from getting a house. I don't know. Membership is $10,000 initiation and then $400 a month in dues. Well, you won't have that $10,000 to go to your house then, and $400 a month in dues. You won't have that to go to your house. So maybe if you're not working extra overtime or something like that, and you could maybe work overtime to reduce some of the cost of that, you could do that and go in the middle there, or you can just choose between golf and the money that would go towards a house. So that's 4 times 12 is 4,800. So that's like almost 5,000. So it'd be 15,000 the first year, and then after that it'd be almost 5,000 every subsequent year. So even if you did it 2 years, that's 20,000 that you would not have to put towards a house. So that's on you. Sid brings up a good point. Can you not buy a house with 180K? Move somewhere where you can put down 150K down payment. Yep. That's a good question. Probably scared about the crazy housing market. Probably trying to wait for it to go down. Yeah, it makes 120K a year. Yeah, so it sounds like you also might be choosing whether to stay in, if you're in a high cost of living area, to stay in that area. Let's see if OP added some stuff there. Somebody brought up the career stuff because from contacts in the golf club. Let me ask what course. Yeah, that doesn't include if you're gonna true cost of membership, dues, cart rentals, tipping the golf staff, any food or drink minimums. Yeah, so that's a good point. Doesn't look like OP. Oh, there we go. OP. Always thought a home would come first, but the market is depressing. Market's the market. What are you gonna do? 110K of this is in mutual funds that are liquid, meaning I can pull capital gains at any time. Okay. Non-retirement investment account. Okay. And that's going down though, or was. It's been trending up recently. The housing market is depressing me, to be honest, because my top 2 goals have been 1, buy a house, 2, be a member at a golf club. Well, if you got to start with 1, so get a house first. But yeah, it sounds like yeah, most people are telling me you can afford it, so go ahead. But yeah, it sounds like that's a good question. Especially if you're single, what kind of house do you think you need to buy? Yeah, Sid was right. I didn't think about that at all when I saw 180. He does change the 110 down there, doesn't he? Maybe it's worth 110 now. Maybe it was 180 at first, and then now it's worth 110. That's not very fun, is it? Let's see. Let's see. Since it's they don't want to leave South Florida or California. Yeah, could be Sid said she loves how the one person who said no got downvoted. Of course. Well, we don't want to keep anybody from doing exactly what they want to do, no matter how stupid it is. All right, budgeting, saving, spending techniques. This from the 13th Benadryl. That's too many at one time, by the way, kids. You don't want to take 13 Benadryl. 26 years old, and my fiance is 25 years old. We have a 4-year-old together. In the 6 years of our relation, we haven't been very smart finance. We are very good at keeping steady income. Therefore, with an E on the end, we have felt that it's IT apostrophe S, it's contraction for it is okay to acquire monthly payments via credit card transactions or credit transactions. Beep, 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 beep. I didn't, did I? Oh, no, I did. Via credit transactions. There we go. Monthly payments via credit transactions instead of saving up for said items and buying them outright. We felt that it's okay. All right, well, the wrong form here. That says Dave Ramsey up there. We've always used the methodology of paying our weekly bills for that week, and anything extra that we have doesn't necessarily have a home, and we ended up spending it on whatever. So what you need to do is give those extra dollars a name. Our monthly bills are equal to our monthly income without overtime. That's a lot. That's too much. We each have an ample opportunity for overtime, and usually this overtime money that we rely on to put gas in our vehicles, put groceries in the pantry. Okay, you guys are like a week of missing work from disaster here. Like if one of you gets sick and doesn't get paid. And other spending that we need to do, right? That we need to do. I would like to get to the point of overtime money going into a savings account without me having the opportunity to need it for anything less than must-have situations. How should we approach this situation? Stop using credit card transactions or credit transactions. Stop using that. Do an actual budget where every dollar does have a name. Stop buying crap. Probably spend money on a lot of crap. So stop that. Sell whatever you have that's worth anything that you're not using regularly. Yeah, basically get your butts in gear. You gotta, if you're monthly equal to the monthly income, that's a lot of bills. Unless you were in a, I guess maybe high cost of living area and you guys don't make that much money at all, that shouldn't happen. Where the two people working full time, I'm assuming, don't know. Probably some of it is daycare, so that could be an option. Maybe the finance stays home if not making enough to pay for that daycare, but it depends on your what your expenses are. But yeah, you cut your expenses, you do work all that overtime you can get, and you quit buying stuff. And no more credit. Follow the baby steps. That's always a good idea. Baby steps. Only technique. Written zero-based monthly budget. That's right. No magic bullet. Only way to clean up the mess you made is get on beans and rice budget. Stick to it. Pay off your debts. If you haven't already read the Total Money Makeover, it will tell you how. That's right. That's right. Virtual gave you the best advice. Here's a link on how Ramsey sets up a budget. All right. How many more? Hardly any savings. 33K Fidelity account from something, but don't understand what funds to put in it. 10 years to retirement. Might hit this one tomorrow. Let's see if there's other ones as well. Yes, it said 4-year-old maybe starting pre-K or pre-K or kindergarten this year. Yeah. It says yikes on bills equals income. Exactly. Yep, maybe stop spending your leftover money on whatever. Yeah. Whatever is not a need. It also says paycheck to paycheck is not always a choice. They are choosing it. That's right, they are. Okay, so we got a thing about a truck to pay off credit card bills, probably. I'll look at those tomorrow and a couple other ones from the weekend. But now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. COACHSTEVEMONEY. Don't sue me. Hope the mouse doesn't sue me. Upcoming streams. I did get one more stream of Stray done, Old Man Video Gaming series, this weekend. I did not do tech support with Coach Steve Money, perhaps sometime this week. And Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. And it looks like it may be a Dave-cation all week. But that's okay. We have other Ramsey personalities that can co-host as well. So hopefully all new shows all this week, if indeed it does turn out that it is a Dave-cation. All right, links at the top of the chat and the video description below and right above me here on the green YouTube banner to the right side of that. You can schedule a free consultation with me at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. You click on financial coaching. You click on the date. Let's use, I don't know, September 13th. You select a time, and Calendly will let me know. Whoops, meant to hit that one back. Oh no, meant to hit that. Calendly will let me know when you would like that appointment, and I will email you to let you know when or what financial information I need from you in order to accurately financially assess you. PayPal logo is changed. Fun times. And that is for donations, and that's paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Instagram, Coach Steve Money, no spaces, and email if you'd like to perhaps talk to me about anything. You can do so at CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. And you can ask me about, see, there's your Stray stream too. You get to play as a kitty. So fun. You can ask me about Oak Island, the after show, anything about the Ramsey stuff, about video gaming, about computer stuff. I got 25 plus years of computer experience, being a PC tech, or if you want to sing any of the songs that I sing on here, let me know and we can make that happen either via your pre-recording of it or you can do it live. We have that technology already. Make smart financial decisions every day.